In the bustling heart of New York City, amidst towering skyscrapers and a sea of yellow cabs, lived Elias Thorne, a brilliant but eccentric inventor. His workshop, a chaotic haven filled with gears, wires, and half-finished contraptions, was his sanctuary. One day, while tinkering with a peculiar device, a surge of energy coursed through the room. A portal shimmered into existence, swirling with vibrant colors. A young woman, seemingly from another era, stumbled out, bewildered and clutching a strange amulet. "Where am I?" she gasped, her voice laced with confusion. Elias, equally stunned, could only stammer, I have no idea." Dr. Serafina Bellwether, a brilliant but disgraced bioengineer, lived in the shadow of her past. Her revolutionary, symbiotic synthesis project, aimed at creating self-sustaining ecosystems, had resulted in a catastrophic bloom of genetically modified algae, devastating coastal regions. Now, years later, ostracized by the scientific community, she eked out a meager existence running a small online plant identification service from a remote cabin in the Redwood National Park. Establishing shot of a secluded cabin nestled among towering redwood trees. A young park ranger, Kai, arrives at Serafina's cabin seeking help. Kai explains the mysterious disease affecting the redwoods, showing signs of distress and worry. Serafina, initially resistant, was moved by Kai's genuine concern for the trees, and the echo of her own past ambitions. Against her better judgment, she agreed. Using a portable DNA sequencer powered by a custom-built piezoelectric generator, a relic from her symbiotic synthesis days, Serafina analyzed samples of the affected bark. The results were alarming. A novel fungal pathogen was attacking the trees, and it possessed a unique genetic marker she vaguely recognized. As Serafina delved deeper, she realized the pathogen was an unintended byproduct of her original symbiotic synthesis research. A dormant sequence, triggered by a recent surge in geomagnetic activity, had caused the modified algae to mutate into this deadly fungus. The weight of her past mistakes crashed down on her once again. Driven by guilt and a renewed sense of purpose, Serafina resolved to find a cure. She spent days hunched over her makeshift lab, running simulations on a Raspberry Pi microcomputer, searching for a weakness in the pathogen's genetic code. Kai, meanwhile, tirelessly gathered samples and monitored the affected trees, acting as Serafina's eyes and ears in the vast forest. Their research focused on a rare species of mycorrhizal fungi, naturally resistant to the pathogen threatening the redwoods. Serafina theorized a biocompatible viral vector could deliver the mycorrhizal fungi's resistance gene directly into the redwood cells, acting as a cure. The process was risky and complex. Serafina used her knowledge of CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing to insert the resistance gene into the viral vector, ensuring it wouldn't trigger any unintended mutations. With Kai's help, they scaled the giant trees, injecting the viral vector into the trunks using custom-designed microneedles attached to a drone. They used custom-designed microneedles attached to a drone controlled by a handheld device. They injected the viral vector into the trunks of the giant trees. Days turned into weeks, and the fate of the redwoods hung in the balance. One morning, Kai rushed into the cabin, his face beaming. The sloughing had stopped. New sap was flowing. The trees were healing. The news spread like wildfire. The redwoods were saved. Serafina, hailed as a hero, was invited to present her research at a prestigious scientific conference. But instead of seeking accolades, she used the opportunity to advocate for ethical scientific practices and the importance of understanding the potential consequences of even the most well-intentioned research. Standing before a global audience, Serafina acknowledged her past mistakes and declared her commitment to using her knowledge responsibly. Inspired by her redemption, the scientific community embraced a new era of transparency and collaboration. Serafina, no longer haunted by her past, dedicated her life to restoring damaged ecosystems, proving that even from the ashes of failure, new life and new hope could blossom.